Hi guys, welcome back to Cooking with Claudia. Today I'm going to show you how I cook my steak using the Sous Vide method. If you're not familiar with Sous Vide cooking, it's basically a water bath cooking where you cook your steak in water set at a fixed temperature using the Sous Vide, and the Sous Vide will slowly cook your steak at the most accurate temperature that will result in a very tender and juicy meat. The Sous Vide I'm using today was sent to me. I'm gonna leave a link in the description box together with a coupon code if you guys are interested. Let's get started, guys. Alright guys, I have my steak here. I'm using New York strip. Make sure your steak is very nice and thick, that way it doesn't dry out. We're going to start by seasoning the steak with salt and pepper. You want to be very generous with your salt and pepper because this is a very thick meat and you don't want it to taste boring. Next, we're going to top the meat with some crushed garlic, fresh thyme, and butter. So, in order to sous vide our steak, we have to vacuum seal it. Go ahead and place your meat into a vacuum sealer bag, then we're going to vacuum all the air out of the bag. I'm using a vacuum sealer machine to vacuum the air out. If you don't have this gadget at home, I'm going to show you a simple alternative using a Ziploc bag. So if you don't have a vacuum sealer machine, just place your meat into a Ziploc bag. Then you're going to immerse it into a pot full of water. The water will slowly draw all the air out of the bag. And if your meat sinks into the bottom of the pan, that means all the air is out. Go ahead and seal the Ziploc bag. Then you're going to clip the opening of the Ziploc bag to the side of your pot. That way water doesn't seep through. And that's it. That's all you have to do if you don't have a vacuum sealer. So rewind to me using the vacuum sealer. My meat is very nice and vacuumed. There is no air in here. The next thing I'm going to do is grab a pot and place in my sous vide. Then I'm going to fill the pot with water. And make sure the water isn't below the minimum mark. Next, I'm going to turn on my sous vide. I like my steak medium rare, so I am setting the temperature to 130 Fahrenheit because that's the perfect temperature for medium rare. If you like your steak a different way, I'm gonna leave all the different temperatures in the description box. Next, I'm going to set the timer to 2 hours. Then as soon as the water reaches 130 Fahrenheit, I'm gonna place my meat right into it. The sous vide is going to slow cook the meat at such low temperature so the meat will come out very tender, relaxed, and juicy. Once the meat has finished cooking, go ahead and take it out of the bag. And as you can see, it doesn't look good at all. It looks weird. The sous vide has finished doing its job. It's very tender and it has the accurate temperature for medium rare. But we're going to sear the steak, that way it looks a lot more appetizing. Before we sear the steak, we're going to pat it dry with a paper towel, then let it sit and cool completely. You can even place it in the fridge to speed up the cooling process. And the reason you cool before searing is so the temperature doesn't go any higher and overcook. So you're going to place the meat in a very hot oil over high heat. Make sure you add the thyme and garlic, that is all good flavor. Next, you're going to sear the meat for only 30 seconds on each side. As soon as the meat develops a nice golden brown color, take it out of the pan. Once your meat has finished cooking, let it sit and rest for 10 minutes before cutting through. That way all the juices don't rain out. I can feel how tender the meat is just by touching it. I am so glad I have the sous vide. It has the accurate temperature for medium rare, just the way I like it. And it is so tender and really juicy. If you guys want to make this recipe, go ahead and check out the description box. I have all the ingredients and measurements there.